Oh, I was going to show you today how to adjust the points on a 68 Chevrolet. This is pretty much standard for any point vehicle. Points, if you're not familiar with the term, are these. Is the distributor, let me get my light. As the distributor spins around, you can see a little rotor button there. Let me pull the rotor button off so you can see the little cam lobes. Okay, you see where the lobes are raised, and it pushes. Okay, it pushes against. Let me get this up here. This little piece right here. And as you can see, these points, all points are contacts that split apart and come together, and that is what tells your coil when to fire. It discharges your coil. And you also have a condenser. It's a good idea to, when you replace your points, to go ahead and replace condenser as a set. That's the best way to do it. You can buy them separately, but it's best to do it, all at once. Okay, I don't know if you're going to be able to see or not. You may be able to. This is a cell phone, and it is not that good of a camera. You can see a little bit. Those points are wore down. They're pitted. The top of it actually looks okay. When you have pits in your points, they will not contact good. As you can see, this is a newer set, and actually these are not for this truck, but I've already got the other ones installed. This is a set that is still good. As you can see, it's flat. Okay, maybe you can see that. As I said before, this camera is not much. Okay, in order to set points correctly, you've got to have a feeler gauge like this. All this is, it's a bunch of metal, little thin pieces of metal that fold out kind of like a pocket knife. And as you can see, they are marked in measurements, in inches and millimeters. Okay. It says in the, well, I found it online. Also, I've done this for years, so I already knew it, but I looked up just to be sure. 19 thousandths is the measurement, the correct setting for the points. Okay, the way I do it, I take two of them out. Actually, I put the 19 thousandths one back in, and I take the 18 and the 20 out. Okay? I leave the 18 and the 20 out. These two. Now what you want to do, you want to have it to where the 18 goes in freely, and you can actually feel a slight amount of movement. It takes some practice to get to where you can actually feel it, but you can feel a slight amount of movement back and forth between the points with the 18, and the 20 will fit in tightly. You'll be able to tell that it's actually opening the points just a little bit. You'll be able to tell that it's, just a little bit too big. So that's the way I do it. You can take the 19 and do it, and it seems a lot simpler, but to me this works a lot better. Okay, in order to get ready to set the points, I found a place for the tools. I need a better light. I apologize for that, but okay. As you can see, there is a lobe close to, you can see a little bit better. There's a lobe that's close to pushing the points open, but it's not there yet. Okay. There's several ways you have to get that lobe right on the arm to the point and holding it open. There's several ways to do that. One way that I use is I'll go in here. I'd like to sit up somewhere. I'll go in here, and now we are in first gear. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in third. Right there is third gear. Okay? Hopefully I'm not sitting in too much of a hole here. I think I may be okay. In third gear, you'll be able to actually move the vehicle by just pushing it back and forth. Okay. So what I'll do is rock the vehicle. It's moving, but like I said, I'm not on the ideal surface. Okay, I'm going to have to put the camera down, and I'll be back with you in a moment. Okay, as you may be able to see now, the points, or the part that moves the points is actually sitting right on top of that cam lobe. Okay. Now I'm going to take, first off, you can see the points are slightly apart. I'm going to put the feeler gauge in the points. I don't know if you can actually see that. Yeah, see? I'm actually putting the feeler gauge between the points right here. And there is a little bit of movement right there. Okay. Actually, felt like too much movement. Now I'm going to try. Yeah, the 20 just falls right in. So that is way too much gap. So what you want to do is this screw right here needs to be slightly loosened. Needs to be tight enough to hold it though. And you put your screwdriver in this little slot right here, and you twist it just ever so much. Then let's try the 20 again. The 20. That I think is too much. Okay, the 20 actually does not fit. Okay, now let me get the 18 back out. And we'll try the 18 on it. This works better to me. Okay, it needs a little bit more because the 18 does not. The 18 does not quite fit correctly, so it needs just a hair more apart. Let's try that. Still too tight. See, it's just a process of move a little bit. You don't want to move too far because a small movement ends up being a lot when it comes to the points. Okay, let me try that. I do believe that's about perfect. Okay, let me get this 20 back out. And it should not fit, and then that should be it. Okay. So you can put it in. I know it's difficult to see with this camera, but when I put it in, it barely moves the points, just a little bit. So that's it. That has your points set. And you can use a dwell meter and all that, but I never do it. In fact, I don't even have one. If you got your points set right, oh yeah, one very important thing, always remember, tighten your screw up. If you don't tighten your screw up, your setting will move as soon as you start the truck. And you'll be doing this all over again. Okay, and another thing that you should never forget, which I did one time actually, I did this same procedure, and I put everything back together, so I thought I did, and I cranked and cranked, run the battery down, went and got another vehicle, boosted my truck with the other vehicle, set there with the booster cables on, cranking and cranking. I knew that, you know, I just set the points and they were right, so it should be running. So I didn't understand what was going on. I checked, make sure it had gas, and pulled one of the plugs out, and it wasn't firing. Well, what's going on now? So I pulled the distributor back off, and this was not in there. I didn't put the rotor button back on. So take a lesson from me. I felt really stupid, but it can happen very easily. You know, you're not really thinking about it. You're just, you know, you're just putting stuff back together. Well, take your time and make sure you get it put back together correctly, or else you'll waste a lot of your time. Okay, that will only go on one way. It snaps on. And of course the distributor cap, you put that back on. Okay, anyway, once you get everything put back together, you fire her up and she should run good. It's a good idea to, every now and then, like if you're just under the hood, just tinkering around, it don't take but 2 screws to get that distributor off. Pop it off, check your points, you know, make sure they're still where they're supposed to be, you know, because this little plastic piece right here will wear down. This one right here, where the cam actually pushes, that will wear down over time, and your points will start closing back together, getting closer and closer, and you'll have to adjust them up. Oh, one more thing. When you put your new points in, which is just a matter of the same screw that I loosened to adjust it, you take that screw out, the points just lift off. The wires just kind of plug in right there underneath of this piece of metal. They're very simple. But in the package, you will have a little thing that looks like a pill. Don't throw it away. That's your grease. You put your grease, put some of it on here, on this piece right here. Don't get it on the points themselves. Get it on the plastic, the raised plastic piece here. And also put some around that little cam. If you do that, your points will last a lot longer, but you still need to check them. Oh yeah, you need to make sure your plugs are gapped correctly too, which mine are. I've already checked that. Okay, well, that is my video for today. Oh yeah, I came up here because you can't hear the generator. I'll show you. Previous owner of this truck, my dad. All the flowers are dead now. But there, that's my dad. That's the one that owned the truck before I did. Passed away in 03. But, and I thought that might be kind of an interesting side note. Oh, the owner before him is right down here. A little piece of history for you involving that truck. There is the owner before my dad was my grandpa. So this truck has a lot of family history. that might be interesting to some people. And thank you for watching, and have a nice day.